Hey Masters, welcome to another episode of Path to Mastery. Today we are with Regan Hillyer, who shares a really cool message with us on how to tap into our unique message. You know, that thing that makes you different, that thing that just doesn't resonate with everybody, but with the people it does resonate with, that is your tribe. This is a really cool interview. It's fun. I had a good time with Regan. And, you know, I think it's such a great follow-up to last week's episode. If you haven't listened to last week's episode with Michael Burnoff, 174, you know, he talks about getting outside of being average. And I think this is the perfect follow-up to that episode. So go back, listen to Michael if you haven't, and hey, enjoy Regan. Before we get to Regan, a few opportunities for you. One is, if you're dealing like most of us with some form of call reluctance, we all deal with it in some capacity. I want to share with you the 5 types of call reluctance and the solutions for getting beyond those. So you can simply go to davidihill.com/5 types. Again, davidihill.com/5 types, and get a great download. It's going to give you a chapter of my book. It's going to deal with call reluctance. Real excited to share that with you. And don't forget about our sponsors, right? Vulcan 7, Land Voice. You can just go to my website, davidihill.com/affiliates, and check out all of our sponsors. And finally, my friends, if you want a free book, go get Michael's book, Average Sucks, on davidsfreebook.com. And I want to get you into this episode. So listen, that's it for today's for advertisements. And I hope you enjoy Regan. She kills it for us. You rock. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready to go.
All right, awesome. Hey Masters, welcome to another episode of Path to Mastery. And today we are with Regan Hillyer. And hey Regan, what's going on?
Hey David, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing really, really good. And you're joining us today from lovely Costa Rica. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Good for you. Well, I'm in snowy Connecticut right now, so
wow,
it's all good. Anyway, appreciate you spending some time with us today. A couple things about you. You are a serial entrepreneur, philanthropist, mindset coach, and a global speaker. Founder of Regan Hillyer International, a company dedicated to providing personal development and business training to men and women who have a big message that they want to share with the world. And you are a specialist in helping people uncover their true message and launch powerful brands, make a big impact, build a legacy, all phenomenal stuff. Also a certified Master of NLP, Master of Hypnosis, and Time Dynamics. Cool. A lot of good stuff for us to talk about. So thanks again for joining us, and fill in a few more of those gaps. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, amazing. Well, you covered off a lot there. So basically, yeah, I love helping people create success from the inside out and really, you know, create their ultimate life and their ultimate business in whatever way that looks like for them. And so, you know, I tap into a lot of different strategies and also internal modalities in order to do that. And yeah, I do that through mostly online. I have about 40 different online products and services, and then also some speaking and some retreats and some other companies and methods which really help people elevate. Yeah.
So, okay. So you help people, you said, create a big message, you know, a message that they want to share with the world. So tell us, how do you do that? Is it done online, through social media? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, look, we have a few different options and pathways for someone wanting to really tap into their message and then also build a brand or a business around it and monetize it. And, you know, we have a 3-day event, for example, where my team actually run that. It's called the Be Your Brand Academy, and people come in and they spend 3 immersive days actually really looking at what are they born to share with the world and what is their soul's truth and what is the stuff inside of them that they really care about. And then we look about how do we get that out into the world? How do we actually create that into an element of service so that we can help more people and, of course, monetize that, creating products and services and a powerful brand, which then creates their legacy basically. So, you know, there's an offline way to do that. And then we also have an online version where people, if they don't want to come to the live event, they can tap into that product as well.
Got it. Okay, so I'm going to back up now. So obviously the first step is helping somebody to create the message, right? Is that kind of figuring out what's important to them, their why, all that type of stuff?
Absolutely, yeah. The first step really that people run through is the development piece, and so it's developing their message and then developing their brand around that. And this includes, their vision for themselves, their vision for their tribe of people that they want to help, and really tapping into, what is their truth, what is their message, what is that thing that they actually want to bring to the world. And there's so many people who have created success in business, but they don't start here. And, they often start from a place of just seeing an opportunity or thinking I can make some money this way. And then they build the thing, but they get down the track and they realize they're not necessarily doing something that they love. So we help some people from total startup get clear on that. And then we also help some people take a few steps backwards in order to take 50,000 steps forward and actually do something that they love in the world. But yeah, that first piece is all around development and really getting clear on that.
So let's use real estate as an example. The majority of our listeners are real estate agents. So think about, I show up to you as a realtor. I want to sell a lot of homes. Let's say I want to sell 200 homes next year. And I'm not really 100% clear why I want to sell 200 homes. I just know that if I do that, I'm going to make a lot of money. Right. Mm-hmm. So how does that translate? Or is it important that I have a why behind that or a message behind that?
Yeah, definitely. And it's also really important to ensure that there's a brand behind that as well. And, one of the things that we teach people is that when you start tapping into this message and creating this powerful personal brand, you put yourself in a place where almost no one can compete with you, because last time I checked, there was no other version of yourself. And when you're really, truly unleashing your message and your truth and bringing all of these unique, powerful stories and brand element things to the table, then there's no one out there like you. And so if you're leading with, I sell real estate, and leading with, I have the best houses, then there's a million gazillion other people out there doing the same thing. But if you tap into your unique story and your unique message and the thing that you really desire the world to hear, and if that's got some sort of emotion and past and history behind it, which really captivates people, then all of a sudden they fall in love with your message, they fall in love with your essence, they fall in love with your brand, and there's so much more open to going, well, of course you're the person that I want to buy this property from, instead of just competing with the properties and leading with that.
So where does that start? I mean, how do you work with somebody on that? So that, again, we'll go back to that same example. I show up, I say, you know what, Regan, I want you help me build my brand, my business. All I know is I want to make a ton of money next year, and I want to do it through real estate because I love houses. So where would I start? Let's get some meat and potatoes for our listeners.
Oh, totally. Well, there's a big process that we take people through. It literally takes about 8 hours. So on the first day. So to give you a bit of a breakdown on that. Yeah, we firstly get people clear on actually defining this message. And, one of the questions we love to ask people is, if you had a speakerphone or a megaphone and you had an opportunity to say one thing to the world in one or two sentences, and you knew that all the people who were meant to hear it were going to hear it, what would you say to the world? And then from that place, we peel back a layer and we get clear on your vision. Where are you actually going? What do you want to build? What does this look like long term? Who do you want to serve? And then after you're clear on the direction that you're heading, we love looking at who do you actually want to serve. Because if you're just saying, you know what, I just want to serve anybody that comes my way, you end up serving nobody. So it's really good to get clear and specific on who are your soulmate clients, your soulmate tribe, who are you really put here to impact. And then how are those people actually wired? So we go beyond the typical marketing, demographics, and they're this old and they live here and they make this much money, but we get into the essence of who these people are. So what are their fears? What are their dreams? What are their desires? The minute you understand that, you can speak to that and market to that, and people connect with you on a personal, emotional level. So we get really clear on that. And the next layer generally that clicks on after that is understanding, well, what are the challenges that these people have? What are their goals and their outcomes that they're looking to achieve in their life? And also, what are they really struggling with right now? And from that place, we take your unique skill set, in this case, as the realtor, and all your knowledge and all your expertise and all your stories and your ups and your downs and all of your intellectual property and also your strategy and everything you bring to the table uniquely. And we look at how can we actually package this up in a way where we're creating unique products and services that are built out in a full spectrum from a low end right through to the high end in order to actually serve this tribe. Because if you just know your message and you know who you want to help, but you're not actually putting offers out there into the world, then you're definitely not going to make any money or help any people. So yeah, that's really the core of it. And the last piece on the first day around development is we actually get into the numbers and we break down specifically, well, what are your financial goals over the next 12 months? And we start there and we start then linking up the different products and services and price points and actually have a really good tangible look at what is this going to take in order to actually hit these financial goals.
I love that. Yeah. So it sounds like, when you go into business or any endeavor for that matter, it's really understanding your value proposition, right? So why would somebody even choose to work with me? Like, what do I bring to the table? Is that kind of what you're getting to? Like, here's my value prop. This is why you're going to choose me over the other 80,000 realtors that you could choose from out there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's positioning yourself in a way where your brand stands out from all the other people. So, when we go into the second phase after development, which is more the launch phase of actually getting everything out into the world, we talk about things around how can you quickly position yourself in a great way. So, for example, how can you get in the media and make sure you're in things like Fox and ABC and CNN? How can you ensure that you have some credibility? Maybe you are going to write a book and you want to make sure that you're a #1 best-selling author. So how can you link in these pieces so that when you have a powerful brand and this emotive content and all these products and services and you're speaking to the right people, you actually stand out from anybody else that may be playing in a similar category to you.
Got it. So the first step is helping these people understand what's important and how they can help people, creating that message, and then what is this done via social media, or what is that? Now, obviously, you need to get that message out to people. So where does that start?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's the second phase, which is really the launch phase, which comes after all of the brand and message development. And so, yeah, we love helping people do this through social media. And we work in with some different offline strategies as well. For example, live events or speaking and things which, may be more relevant to some people than others. But we love looking at social media and building this across the board, making sure that you're showing up on all platforms, teaching you how to create viral content and content which is actually received by your people and shared by your people, and how to really organically do this and start launching your products and services in a way where they're actually seen by people and received by people.
I love that. And right now in the real estate industry, there's a lot of disruption going on right now. There's a lot of platform type companies trying to come in and get between the realtor and the consumer. So how do you stand out over that?
Absolutely. So, if I was, for example, the realtor and I was in this industry and I had, all the toolkit from this 3-day event of launching the brand, I would really be looking at how do I actually directly speak to what is going on? How do I educate people about this? How do I create content and, content that is value adding for people, but also a little bit polarizing and maybe even a little bit shocking to people. And I would be really looking to confront it for what it is and really get my tribe and my audience in a place where they're kind of requested to take a stand. And it's almost like, what? Do you want to go and you want to support these big companies which are coming in and they're doing this, and you might not have the quality and the service and the, everything else which a unique individual that cares deeply about you is going to give you. Or, you could actually choose to support a personal brand like this. And here's why. And I'd be actually requesting constantly from my audience that they make a decision. And this is going to polarize people. It's going going to really request that anyone following you gets into a place where they're either in or they're out. They're either going to love you or they hate you. But what this happens is that when you allow some people to move away from you, you allow all the other people who are saying yes to your message and your brand and your offerings to fall even deeper in love with you. And you create this brand loyalty and almost this cult tribe following where it then doesn't matter what any other big platform is doing or what any other offers they see. That all becomes white noise because they're emotionally committed to you and your brand.
Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't heard that before. So you said your request they make a decision. What does that look like?
Well, this could look like many different ways. This could be creating a piece of polarizing content and literally letting them know, maybe some of the things which are going on in the industry. Also letting them know some of the core things that you stand for in this industry when you support your clients and when you represent your clients and when you're committed to getting your clients results. And literally requesting at the end of this piece of content, let's say it's a Facebook post for argument's sake, right? And let's say at the end of this piece of content, you simply say, I want to hear from you. Where do you currently stand? Are you someone who is going to support these huge platforms coming in, trying to just make money, who don't actually care about the customer deeply? Or are you someone who you really believe in high quality customer service and supporting people that are trying to do good in this world? If you're someone who actually takes a stand for that, please share this post or please comment below and let us know. And so you actually get your audience interacting and then they feel like they're a part of it. Everyone loves to stand for something. Everyone loves to be seen and heard. Everyone loves to share their opinion. And if they can do that in a way where they're validating themselves because of all their great beliefs that they have, which is also then validating you and your brand, then that is so valuable to you.
I love that. Yeah. So you're talking about alignment. You're finding people that are aligned with your value, your beliefs, right? Ultimately.
Exactly.
And
Absolutely.
And you're just not concerned about the people who aren't. I mean, it's fine, but they do what they choose. You're not concerned about them. Masters, I'm going to get you right back to the show. A couple opportunities for you. First, if you're like me or like any salesperson I've ever worked with, you deal with some form of call reluctance. There's really only 5 major types of call reluctance. They're all in my book, The Sales Playbook. What I want to do for you is I want to share with you a special gift opportunity. I'm going to give you the 5 types of call reluctance, and I'm going to give you the solution to get through each of them. I guarantee I've been doing it 35 years on the phones, and I still deal with call reluctance, but the awareness I have is what helps me keep moving forward. So I want you to go to davidihill.com/5 types. The number 5, davidihill.com/5 types, and get yourself a free download that's going to give you chapter 3. One more opportunity, Masters. If you are on the phones like me and you're calling expired sellers or for sale by owner sellers or sellers in general, then you want our expired training kit. And right now, this is a special opportunity. Right now, this is happening. If you're interested, you get this expired training kit by going to expired.schoolforrealtors.com. Again, expired.schoolforrealtors.com. Sign up for the kit and you're going to get access to a 1-week live lead generation sessions with me. That's right. I'm logging on in the mornings and making calls. You're going to log in with me on Zoom on a small group. And listen, we're going to get feedback to each other. We're going to help each other. We're going to coach each other, support each other. I'm going to work directly with you. That's a special opportunity going on right now for people who go and sign up for expired.schoolforrealtors right now. Get signed up for that. Hey, I look forward to lead generating with you and helping you take your business to the next level. Hey, enjoy the rest of the episode. I think too many people try to go out and kind of cater to everybody, and they're so concerned about being politically correct. Well, I don't know if that's the right terminology, but just being everything for everybody, and we just can't do that.
Exactly. And that's the thing. If you're trying to please everybody, you'll have no one fall in love with you. You'll have all these people that might know you, but they're not deeply committed to you. So you've got to be willing to take a stand. You've got to be willing to have people that maybe don't agree with you or don't resonate with you. Because I promise you on the other side of that are people that are equally charged, but they totally love you and they agree with you and they'll back you and they'll support you and they'll share your content and they'll keep following you.
Any like when you go into social media, any platform or platforms that you focus more on? I mean, is it Facebook, or what's your thought with that? Because I know we get a lot of questions with regards, well, should I focus on Facebook? Should I do Facebook and Instagram? Or what's your thought with that?
Yeah, look, my thought ultimately is that everyone should be everywhere, and you really should be on all platforms across the board and showing up and interacting. And I know that can seem overwhelming if someone's, starting out on social media. And so if you're starting out, I encourage you to build one platform at a time, and you can have the intention that, okay, I'm going to be on all the different platforms, but pick the platform where you believe that your audience is actually hanging out mostly. So for me, my number one priority is Facebook, because most of my community is on Facebook. And then my second priority is Instagram for the same reason. One of my last priorities, for example, is LinkedIn. However, if someone's a realtor, they might go, well, actually, most of my tribe is on LinkedIn. So that's where I'm going to put my focus. And so it's really tuning into where are your clients. If you're in love with Twitter and you're just posting on Twitter every day, but none of your people are hanging out there, then that's probably not that efficient, right? So it's building all of them across the board, so you're not leaving any impact or money on the table, but definitely going where your people are as well.
Yeah, good advice. So yeah, obviously going where your people are, build that platform, then maybe focus on, because I think I agree with you, it can become overwhelming for people. So get one going and then move to the next one. What do you see as some of the most common mistakes that we're making when it comes to this?
And what specifically with social media?
With social media, with building brand, I would say with brand, branding ourselves, everything that we've talked about so far.
Yeah, look, one of the big things I've seen with many of my clients, especially even at a high level when they come in, is that they've built some sort of brand, but they're not the brand. Okay, so they've built effectively a company brand, but they're hiding behind that brand. And so there's something so powerful when you actually build a personal brand and or a company brand, as well as a company brand. If you have a powerful personal brand, it means that you have so many options and so much flexibility. When I started out building my personal brand, I was all about, success mindset education, right? And that was kind of my little niche that I jumped into firstly. Now I could go on the internet tomorrow and launch some sort of course around health and fitness and my daily health routines, and no one would blink an eyelid because it's simply Regan Hillyer, and now Regan is launching that. So because you're a person, you're holistic and you're all encompassing, and it allows you to move left and right through different industries, through different businesses, through different changes in your life. If you decide, look, I don't want to do real estate anymore, but I want to jump into this side of things, then you have the flexibility to do that without starting from the very beginning, versus someone, let's say I branded myself in the beginning as Regan, who only works with people around their mindset. If I was that and then I launched a health course, people would be like, why is the mindset person launching a health course? That's weird. What is she doing? Right. And so you just have so much more flexibility with a personal brand because you're not putting yourself in this box. So what I love to help people do is go, okay, cool. At the top, we're going to brand you as a brand. You are the brand. You are the person. You are the name. We all know Richard Branson. We all know all these people. And then underneath those personal brands, we have Virgin Airlines, and then we have Virgin Music, and then we have this and that, and we can build out these separate brand containers which can come and go, but they all fit into the main core personal brand.
Interesting. All right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what about the same question with regards to message? What is the biggest mistake you see with regards to the message?
Yeah, the biggest thing with the message is I see people not being fully willing to take a stand that is actually maybe a little bit bold or maybe a little bit scary for them to speak into. It's similar to what we touched on before. I see people kind of just being a bit bland with it, just a little bit across the board and in their message and in their content and in their, their blogs and whatever medium you're using. I see them trying to just please everybody and not really going for it, and the minute I see someone actually telling us what they really think online in a way where you can tell they don't really care if people are going to like them or not. They don't care if someone's going to hit unfollow, because they know that on the other side of that is their soulmate tribe that really believes in what they believe in. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I just see bland messaging and people trying to be everything to nobody, and not really actually going into the core of it.
Yeah, that's a great message. And I see that all the time on Facebook and in different groups, and you have one person that, a lot of people will find that person maybe controversial, but at the same time, he's got some really true followers that, they support him 100%. So
absolutely.
So I agree with that. So what is curious? You said certified master NLP, master hypnosis, and time dynamic specialist. What's a time dynamic specialist?
Yeah, definitely. So when we work with time dynamics, what we're effectively working with is the different timelines available to us in our past and in our future. So to put it very simply, our unconscious mind stores our past and our future. And so, for example, for anyone listening, if you close your eyes right now and simply point towards your past, you're going to point somewhere. And if I tell you with your other hand to point towards your future, you're going to point somewhere. And, there's no right or wrong. That's just where your system actually stores the events in your past and the events in your future. And so once we set up, this is called your timeline, we have the ability through these processes to actually go and do specific things, like take a certain goal, a certain manifestation, a certain visualization, something that we want to happen. Maybe it's a certain money goal or a certain outcome in your brand or your business. And we have the ability to create that in our unconscious mind and then actually drop that into our future reality. Effectively, it's just a heightened way of utilizing meditation and visualization mixed together through some really practical tools. That's the core of it.
That's awesome. And how important is that for success?
Look, I believe there's many different tools and modalities. I feel like it's really about actually finding the tools that work best for you, and I've dipped in and out of different tools over the last 10 years. 5 years ago, I would have said to you, I don't meditate, it doesn't work for me. Whereas that is a tool I'm using more nowadays. So I really feel it's about finding what resonates for you in the moment. Some people love to journal and it's really helpful for them. Other people just get really blocked and stuck when it comes to writing. So yeah, I just encourage people to tune in to finding the right tools for them. And certainly with timeline therapy, it's a powerful tool and it works for many, many people. And if it's resonating, then absolutely I encourage someone to go deeper into it.
I love it. Yeah, definitely. It's funny. I always think about years ago. I'd jog and I'd have a song going in my head, and I'd come out to in front of a group of people. Right. This was before I even started really speaking or training, and I like visualized it as I'm running, and I see the people applauding, and then a couple years later I was on stage at an event with over 6,000 people, and it was the exact same experience that I visualized when I came out from behind the stage. It was just amazing. It was so cool, And
that's how powerful we are.
Yeah, and I created that in my mind. I truly believe that.
Right.
All right, awesome. What questions? What didn't I ask that I probably should have asked?
You asked lots of good questions. I think the last piece maybe to chat on is the third step. We talked about the first piece around this was developing your brand and your message. The second step is actually launching and getting it out there. And the third piece that we love to teach on is actually the acceleration piece. How do we then accelerate your brand into the future? And so what I mean by this is how do you actually set this up in a way from the beginning where you're setting it up to scale, where you're setting it up so it can actually grow. We have a lot of successful people come in and they might be doing, say, $1 million a year, and they've been stuck there for 3 years because they didn't start in a way where they could continuously scale their products and services. And so, yeah, we love looking at that from the beginning, and then also utilizing different tools and strategies to go deeper into this. Obviously online you have things like Facebook advertising, Facebook ads, online marketing, which you can use. We talk about different ways to scale through speaking. There's such power, especially when you've built a brand online, to then go and speak to couple of hundred or a couple of thousand people and actually have that in-person magic with someone, and then everyone starts to follow you online. So we talk about that. We talk about using, things like webinars to scale as well. So these acceleration pieces are important so that people can really realize that, wow, the sky's the limit. And if I keep building this thing, I can really make millions of dollars and impact millions of people through this.
Yeah, this is good. What I'm taking from this conversation really is just, we gotta figure out what's important to us, build our brand around that, be ourselves, put our message out there, and just be okay with not everybody resonating with it. And the people that do, that is our tribe.
Exactly. Yeah, you're so right. And then there's these strategies to amplify it and accelerate it and help you go faster, but it's absolutely the core of it. And it really comes down to being you. I say this all the time. I'm like, I'm just going to teach you how to get paid for being you. And then you're going to have a suite of badass products and services supporting you around you in order to do that.
Don't you think one of the biggest mistakes is people try to be everything for everybody?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I see people trying to be something they're not as well. They're out there on the line and online rather, and they're, preaching about this and that. And you can just tell when someone's not being authentic. You can just tell when they're not fully speaking their truth. You can just tell when they're trying to be something they're not. And generally, the minute that person actually just is them and is the most authentic, powerful version of them, then people start resonating. It's like this kind of concept of, the perfect salesperson online with the green screen and the suit, reading the sales scripts absolutely professionally down to the T for 3.5 minutes. Yeah, it's done. It's done. Like, people don't want to see that online. Like, we zone out now if we start seeing that stuff. What we are resonating with is someone turning on a live stream and just talking from their heart. And it may be still 3 minutes, but it's actually raw and real, and it looks unedited. Like, it's this almost virtual instant reality that we have access to right now. And that's what people want. Like, that's when people connect with you. This polished, pretty, perfect, robotic thing that did work for a while online, like, it's done.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the questions, I ask everybody to send a question. Your question was, what is the secret to success?
I think we've covered it. I believe the secret to success is actually building a really powerful personal brand. But look, there's many. I think one of the core important things is really realizing that success is created from the inside out. And when you're really committed to doing the work to actually align to what you're calling in and being you and unleashing the most powerful version of you, if you do this all from the inside out, it works. If you do this the other way around, where you grasp onto the strategies and then you try and fit yourself into the box of those strategies, that's when people can only get so far, and they hit caps and limitations, or they just create something that they just don't enjoy.
How do our listeners get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can go to reganhillyer.com. If you go to Regan Hillyer on any of the social media platforms, and also if you go to the App Store or whatever store you use on your phone to download your apps and search Regan Hillyer International, you can download our app there for free. Awesome.
And do you have any book recommendations that you would suggest for our listeners based on the conversation today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's many different books that are great, which I've dove into over the years. I think one of the core ones, which really helped me build my brand, but specifically actually around my money mindset, was Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. That really just flipped me into receiving a whole new reality. Also, there is a book I've written around literally being your brand, which you can get through reganhillyer.com as well. And that steps through a lot of the strategies and pieces we talked about today, but in greater detail.
That's so funny. We just got done doing a book club with our team on that book, and I'm supposed to. I've been going back and forth with Harv's people to get Harv on this show, so that's coming up soon. So thank you for sharing that. And my friends, you can actually go and get yourself a free copy of that book by going to davidsfreebook.com, and you can get a free copy from Audible. So check that out. Regan, hey, I just want to say I really appreciate your time. And the final question for today is really, I mean, you gave a lot. You gave us a lot of great nuggets, things we can apply. But what's the one, like if somebody's just going to take one thing from this whole interview today, what do you really want them to take?
Great. So I would love everyone to tune into what actually is your message. And you may have no idea what your message is right now. You may be out there already in the world, in which case this is your opportunity to refine it. And so if you, again, was standing at the top of a hill and you had a speakerphone or a megaphone and you had the opportunity to say one thing to the world, and you knew that everyone who was meant to hear it was going to hear it, and no one was going to judge you or tell you that your message was wrong or stupid or already done by someone else, what would you actually say? And this may be a gut response where you go, oh, this is my message. And this may take some hours of inquiry and actually pulling this apart. But I invite you to go into this and really get to the core of what that is for you.
Hey, just want to thank you and say we really appreciate your time. Great job today.
Thank you, David. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Hey, good stuff. Thank you. Hey, Masters, 45 seconds. That's all I ask. I appreciate you listening to the show. I don't know if I say that enough, but I know you can invest your time wherever you choose. So thank you for spending it here with us. Remember, if you want any information on me or my events coming up, just go to my website, which is davidihill.com. Again, davidihill.com. Click on the events tab. You've got webinars, you've got past webinar replays, everything is there. You can also get access to our sponsors there if you click on the affiliates link. So again, everything is at davidihill.com, and we'd love to have you join us on our Facebook community. But just go to Facebook and search groups, which is Path to Mastery. And finally, as you know, you can get yourself a free book by going to davidsfreebook.com. My friends, again, I just want to say I appreciate you spending time with us. Oh my gosh, I forgot the review. If you would, it helps so much if you'd be willing to go give me a review and then email a review to me at david@davidihill.com. Email it to me. I'll read it on air for you. And I just want to say I appreciate you again for listening to the show. You rock. Enjoy the rest of your day.